Good morning. I am
Good
Ruby
morning.
Neal, and this afternoon, I don't know what time it is, but we are going to talk to you, Mr. Harold, about your life in Gwinnett County, okay?
Okay.
So,
You're
tell me
welcome.
this. Were you born in Gwinnett County?
Yes.
Born in Gwinnett County,
I
okay?
was.
Do you have siblings? You have any sisters and brothers?
I have 2 sisters, and I have some half-brothers on my daddy's side.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your parents. Growing up, when you were growing up, tell me what your parents did to raise you, as far as feeding you, clothing you. How did they take care of you when you were a child growing up? What did they do to make money or whatever?
Well, I was raised mostly by my mom, because my mom and my dad, they wasn't together.
Okay.
And I didn't know a whole lot about my dad.
Oh, okay.
But my mother basically raised me, and she would work like they call day work.
Okay.
She would go out every morning, and she would work. Sometimes we didn't have a car, but she would walk to work.
Mm-hmm.
And she provided for us like that.
She
coming
did it on
up.
her own, alone? She did it basically just her?
on her own,
Okay.
as far as, raising me, because my dad was not around, And then my dad remarried, and then I have other brothers.
Siblings, okay. Okay, wow.
But my mom had 2 other girls, so I was the baby.
Oh, were you spoiled?
I was, and I loved it.
Your sisters spoiled you?
They did, mother did too. And I
That's
loved
okay.
it.
That I know you did. I know you did. Now, how old? Your mother's deceased, right?
She is.
And she was how old when she passed?
She was 84,
Okay.
and she died in 07.
Oh, okay, okay. Your sisters, I know you're not married.
No,
You have any children out there somewhere?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. What about your sisters? Do they have children?
They do. Both my sisters have 4 children.
Okay.
They have 4 children.
Okay. Do they have any?
They have grandchildren
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, are you close to those children? Are you like Uncle Harold to
I
them?
am. I'm close to them too.
Good.
And then
good.
they always have respected me and
As
everything.
Uncle Harold.
Uncle Harold.
Everybody love you, Harold.
Well, I
And
hope so.
everybody loves Harold that knows Harold.
Really,
Okay,
I
that's
hope
just the way it
so.
is, and that's beautiful. Now, tell me, before I go back to your earlier years of life, where did you work, and when did you start working?
Well, I used to work in the summer, and I had summer jobs. Well, I worked 1 year with the brick mason.
Okay.
It was the Collins, they call
I
them
know
Collins
them.
boys.
Yep.
And C.P. Collins, he let me work with him.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to do it good, but he never complained or anything. I would turn the bricks over, I would turn the mud over. And that was a no-no.
Were you destructive?
I was, but that was a no-no.
And they never fussed at
They
you?
never fussed. And we had to put the mud in a wheelbarrow, and then they had like a board, and you had to push it over that board. And I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. And I pushed it across, and when I got across,
You dumped it out
I
on the
dumped
ground?
it out.
Oh, no.
I was
And it
like-
was heavy, wasn't it?
heavy. It was heavy.
You had it unbalanced when you turned.
I did. And once it started going
you
over,
can't stop
you
it.
can't stop it. And then you had to take the bricks. When we pushed the bricks over, they would have like a scaffold. They call it a scaffold. And the men up there would lay the bricks. And and you had the bricks down here, and I had to take the bricks
And take 'em up there?
throw them up.
Could you do that?
I did, but I said, Lord.
Did you knock them
I
out?
did not. I threw some up, but I did pretty good.
Did you?
But I was, I was kind of
Nervous?
nervous about it because I
But
didn't
they
know-
let you do it.
They let me do it.
So
and
they
I
were
did
okay.
it for a summer, but I know they was glad when that summer was up.
You think so?
I think so, but they
But
never
they were too
said
nice
anything.
to fire you.
But my mom was glad because, it helped me get school clothes, and that would help me get my school clothes.
How old were you then, you think, when you were doing that hard
I
work?
was like in high school,
Oh, were you?
kind of like in high school. Yeah.
They were really nice to let
They
you
was-
continue, weren't they?
That's right, because I would get my clothes, and then
Mhm.
when I finished school, then I started working at GM.
How long did you work there?
28 years.
Wow.
28 years I worked there.
Did you have any unfortunate incidences at GM with those cars? Making whatever
Well,
you
I
did?
worked at the parts plant,
Mhm.
and it was a difference between the parts plant and the assembly plant. The assembly plant was where they made the cars, and that was the hardest work over there.
Okay.
I just worked over there just briefly. I didn't work over there long, but most of my years was at the parts plant, and it was a great job.
Was it really?
Yes, I loved it. It was
Good,
great. It
good.
was.
That's
You
wonderful.
wouldn't be able to find a better job
Then GM.
than GM than that job. It was great.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go back a little earlier in years in your life. When you were, how far back can you remember your, say, how old were you? Can you remember second grade? I mean, 2 years old, or 3 years old, or 4 years old?
I remember my teacher.
Now this is
grade.
before school. You don't, your first grade, you can't remember anything prior to first grade?
First grade.
You were probably about 6 years old then, right? Or were you
yeah.
earlier? Sometimes, you know, they went to school earlier
Yeah,
than
6 years old. Yeah. All I remember maybe just playing and all then, but then when I went to school, I remember, you know, my teacher.
Oh, you went to Salem School, I bet.
No, I
Oh.
went to Hooper Renwick.
Oh, for elementary?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
I started from the first grade all the way to the 10th.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
First grade at
First
Hooper.
grade, Hooper Renwick.
Okay.
Great school. I loved
Love Hooper Renwick.
I
Me
did
too.
I loved Hooper Renwick.
Yes. still
First
do.
grade to the 10th
Mhm,
grade.
mhm.
And that was ended in 68.
That's when you left. That was when the school closed.
Yes.
As far as Hooper Renwick High
Yes.
School. It didn't, the building, the school for the kids closed, and then they made it into a number of other things. Hooper Renwick is still there. It's still,
Okay.
the building is still there,
Mhm.
although the property has been sold from the public school system to the city of Lawrenceville. They plan to tear the building down.
Uh-huh.
But we're not going to let them do that.
Really? Because I thought one while they were going to tear it down.
That's their plan. But we're out there working now to try to not let that happen.
Okay.
There's a lot of us, and you're supposed to be in the group with us, so you might as well get ready and get on over there with us. But we're trying to not let that happen. We need it
Okay.
left as
Okay.
a historical site
Yeah.
for blacks, because it was the only, as you know, black high school in Gwinnett County.
It was the only school.
Until 68.
Yes.
Till 68, only high school, only high school. Now, we had other schools throughout the county in the elementary years.
Okay.
Because Salem had a school, and then there were other schools, because I went to school in Decatur.
And I remember Hull.
Hull is Duluth now.
Hull Elementary
Yep.
School, because they went to the 7th grade, I believe it was, and then 8th grade they would come over to Hooper Renwick and
Absolutely.
finish.
Yes, that's
Uh-huh.
right. It was bust here. 'Cause
But all of the blacks went to Hooper Renwick.
all over the county.
Wonderful school. And I would ride on the bus.
Yep.
And it was great.
Now, did you tell me that you were the one that did the sign? No, who was that? Oh, no, that was this morning. CB said he would, you know, the buses at that time didn't have the automatic, you know, the driver could just do something and the stop sign would come out.
Uh-huh.
He did it by hand.
What?
Yeah, I didn't
No.
realize that. Hmm.
I know we had the sign on the bus. We did.
But you don't know how it got turned on.
I sure don't.
That was somebody turning it on. It wasn't automatic like it
Okay.
is now. Now,
Okay.
do you remember who your first bus driver was?
I remember Mr. Mercer Lester.
Mr. Lester was,
I remember Mr. Floyd Allman.
okay, Mr. Auburn was before Mr. Lester, wasn't there, was he?
I think he was Mr. Floyd Allman, and then Mr. Mercer Lester.
Uh-huh, because okay, what year did you start first grade?
Uh,
Do you remember?
First grade.
Okay.
I don't remember what year it was.
Did you
but-
come into the brick building when you first came to Hooper Renwick?
Oh, it was just like it is.
You came into that brick building?
Yes, it's just like it is now.
Now.
And we started in the first grade in the
See,
building
that building-
like it is now.
That building was opened in 51. 1951.
Mm-hmm.
12 rooms in there, one room for each class. It went from
Okay.
first to the 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And you left in 68,
I left in 68,
and you were 10th grade.
10th grade. And Miss May, her last name was May. Miss May was my first grade teacher.
Uh-huh, Geraldine May.
And then Miss Camp.
Miss
She
Camp,
was- she was first grade teacher too.
at the time when you came. Miss
Yes.
Miss May was your first grade teacher, and Miss
Uh-huh,
Camp.
Miss Camp.
Miss May,
She was tall.
Her husband was a teacher also. I don't know if he was at Hooper or not. If I'm thinking about the same person.
Okay,
Because
I don't remember.
grew. She was born in Lawrenceville.
Okay.
She and her sister and a brother.
Mm-hmm.
She was healed before she married.
Okay. She was a heel.
I'm pretty sure this is the same person we're
Okay.
talking about. Well, you know, she passed away a few years, black lady.
She was a nice looking
Black,
lady.
yes. Tall and bright
Tall
skin.
and
light
bright skin.
And a sister too.
Uh-huh.
And a brother too.
And she always wore pretty shoes.
Real proud. Aunt Miley's her aunt.
Okay.
You know Aunt Miley?
I do.
She was Miss May's daddy, and Aunt Miley was sister and brother. Uh-huh.
I didn't know
Yes, yes. So when your first grade teacher was Miss May,
that. Uh-huh.
and then Miss Camp.
Miss Camp. Both of them was like right there together. One here, one there.
Okay.
But
Miss-
most of my class was with Miss May.
Miss May, okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know my brother Nathaniel.
I do.
She was his teacher at some point too. I don't know when it was, but
Okay.
she was one of his teachers at one time.
Nathaniel. Now, I went to school with Harry.
Okay, Nathaniel's
Harry.
older than.
He was older than
Wait a
us.
minute, I don't know. I get them mixed up. I can't tell you which one.
He was older than me.
okay.
And me and Harry was in the same class. I believe it was Harry Wilburn.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
You
me
know,
and Harry went to class
Harry
together.
was younger than me, I think. But
He
I can't
was.
remember. I can't remember.
He
So
was.
you and Harry were in the same class.
Yes.
Nathaniel was above you.
Right.
Because he went to Hooper Renwick a while, but he actually graduated. But then he went to school in Winder because he lived with my aunt at one point. But he actually graduated from Decula.
Okay.
Nathaniel did.
Okay.
He worked at GM also.
Nathaniel did.
Yeah.
Did- I think Nathaniel, did he work at the assembly? Because I don't remember.
He worked at the assembly plant, I think. Now,
Yeah.
another brother of mine called AJ, he worked at Parts.
Okay.
I don't know when,
Uh-huh.
in connection with your time there.
Okay.
And then my brother Willie D, we call him Budden,
Mhm.
he worked at GM also.
Okay.
So I don't
Everybody
know.
worked at GM.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Because
Mr.
at that time, that was the big employer
Yes,
for
it
so
was.
many people.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Mr. William Cooper got me on and got a lot of the black songs.
Yeah, see that was right because that was at a time when blacks were struggling to get jobs. They had no good job. But when
Right.
GM came along,
Oh, that was a
it was a
great job.
blessing for so many people,
Such
so
a
many black
blessing.
people.
It was a blessing.
Uh-huh.
It really
Because a
was.
lot of people that went to school at Hooper Renwick wound up at GM.
Sure did.
Yes.
It was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go to the grocery store, help groceries in the house, and it helped my mom out a lot too, you know.
That's right.
It was really a
Right.
blessing
It
for
was
us, our
because
family.
because we had hard times.
Yeah, we did.
Period. Hard times.
Hard times.
Growing up, as far as and we worked hard at what we did because we farmed. We farmed.
Yeah.
And we had to farm. We farmed. Okay, we kids were help on the
Yeah.
farm. We did all that hard work. We
And I
really
picked
did.
cotton.
We picked cotton too.
Oh.
We planted cotton.
The best part of picking cotton that I liked was lunch. Lunch.
Because that's when you had
When
your
they
big
said
meal.
lunch.
You were ready to go.
I was ready.
Because that's you know at that time we got our big meal at that time
Yes,
during the
we
day.
did.
Because at nighttime it was a smaller meal.
I know it. And then when you go out there, the rows would be so
From
long.
here to Atlanta,
And I
they're
was
so
I was
long.
like, oh, no.
Yes,
And
very.
some people pick 2 rows at a time.
Yes.
I never could.
No, I didn't try.
I never
I think
did
I
do
might have
that.
tried to. Couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
No.
And then they would put my cotton by my cousins, and they could really pick cotton good, and I couldn't pick that much. And I would say to myself, I hope they don't put my cotton by. And they did. Every time they
They
would.
would put it near. Okay.
I was like,
Because
oh,
you would have
no.
the least amount every
I
day,
had the
wouldn't you?
least amount. I
That's
did.
okay, because I didn't want to pick it, but we had to.
Yes.
It was hard, and you pick it, and then
To get in your
that thing that the cotton comes out
You
of
would
was,
tear
had
your
that little
fingers
sharp
up.
thing on it.
Yes. And
It was-
I've chopped cotton too.
Oh, we planted it too. We planted it.
Y'all planted it?
Help Daddy plant. We had to do everything,
Wow.
and we had to get out there and when it's come up, have that hole. You get out there and you get the grass out.
Mm-hmm. I
Get
would
it-
chop the
yes.
stalk up sometimes.
We did too, but we wouldn't let them see it.
You couldn't let them see
No,
it.
they would get you.
Oh, you'd be in trouble.
Big trouble.
Big trouble.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
I did.
Yep.
I
It
picked
was and hot. The weather would be so hot.
It would be so hot.
And you know, and the field would be rough. You know, have them big knots of dirt and rocks and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. But you still had to go through that
And
road.
sometimes we didn't have on shoes.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember having on shoes.
We didn't always have on shoes when we worked out there in that field. I don't know why.
Tear your feet up.
Well, we did it so long they were tough. Okay,
They were tough.
They were tough. Yes, we did. It was such an experience, you know.
I know it.
But you get up early in the morning and go to the field.
Sure
Depending on what
would.
you had to do. Sometimes you'd have to wait till the dew dried up.
Right.
Depending on what you had to do. Picking cotton, we couldn't pick it when it was wet, when the dew was on it. You know?
Right. And I remember our church history play. And one of the scenes we would sing "No More Cotton Fields," and when we sang it, I meant it. I be meaning. We would dance around and singing "No More Cotton Fields." I was singing it too because I said, "Oh, it's the truth."
It is the truth because it was hard work. It was awful work. And then when we finished, okay, got out there early in the morning, started work. Couldn't wait for for dinner. We call it dinner. It's lunchtime now. Now it's called lunch, but we call it dinner.
Dinner.
And we could not wait for that time to come.
Either. Me either.
And then we would go to the house, and we had a great big wonderful meal of all those good vegetables and whatever else.
And then something to drink because you would be
Yes.
so thirsty.
And also, we would have someone would bring us water during the day. Did nobody bring y'all water?
I don't remember.
I bet they
bringing
did
water. They
because they'd
probably
have this
did.
bucket because we had to draw the water. They have the bucket and a dipper.
Mm-hmm.
We down there just slaving away in that field,
I know it.
picking a hoeing or whatever.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
In that hot sun,
Mhm.
and they would bring the water around to us, and we would take a drink of water. All of us drank out the same dipper.
Oh, yes, yes.
It wasn't nothing. Didn't think of sanitation, but we lived,
We didn't think of that then.
and we
no.
weren't sick a lot either.
That's right.
We ate everybody. We partook of everybody's
That's
germs.
right.
You know.
really wasn't sick that much.
Nope. And if you
really
got
wasn't.
sick, that was bad because you didn't go to the doctor. You had to get well from grandma with her remedies or whatever, or
Right.
you just suffered until you got over it.
And then the houses then would be so cold.
Very.
And I remember, we would have like quilts and then different covers over us, and you couldn't hardly
You couldn't turn
over because it was
So heavy.
heavy.
We did the same thing. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. We had a fireplace, and you know the old-fashioned iron that we used to have. We call them smoothing iron.
Yes.
Well, sometimes we would put that iron in that fire and let it get warm, and then we wrap it up in something, and then we put it at the foot of our bed
We
and put
did
our
it.
feet to it.
We
in the
did
bed.
that too. Oh, and you would be so warm.
Oh, and then the bed was full. There were 3 or 4 of us in there. In the same bed.
The same bed.
In the same bed. Because there were so many of us, and we had very little room. We were 2 or 3 of us in the same bed. And we had some bedwetters too.
Oh, yeah.
And they would bedwet you.
Oh, my
they would
Lord.
wet on you.
They wet on
in
you.
the wintertime, on all that cover. And you wasn't going to get up.
You couldn't get up.
Turned to a chunk of ice. I'm not kidding, because there was
That's
no
right.
heat in there.
It would be cold. It would.
Because you had a fire in the fireplace or you had a heater. And
We
in
had
the
a
early
heater.
days, we had the fireplace. But when we rose up a little higher, we got a heater.
Got a heater.
But if you crawled out of that bed because that person had gone to the
You would
bathroom on you,
freeze.
there was no heat in that house.
Sure
And
wasn't.
the house was ragged.
Yes, it
You
was.
could look out. I mean, it was cold. It was just like you being outside.
That's right.
That's why they had so much cover on us.
That's right. But you wouldn't get sick.
No.
Very seldom you would
Very
get
seldom.
sick.
Very seldom. Very seldom.
Not like we are, today, but you used to get sick too much.
You didn't. And when you got sick, as I said, the remedies that they had to give us. Now, you may not experience it much, but I did because I was, my great-grandmother and father were, in our life a lot.
Okay.
Not my grandfather, because I didn't know them. They died or ran away. Because my mama's mother died when my mother was 4 years old.
Really?
But my mama's daddy, he was gone. Don't know why he left. But way back then, black men had a hard time living because they would be accused of stuff that they did not do.
Okay.
They were oftentimes accused of stuff they didn't do. Okay.
Right.
So it's to save their life, they would leave. They would run away. Some of them got away, some of them didn't. Because they would be beat, some of them would be killed.
Yes.
That happened.
Yes.
Before my time, but during my mom's time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, because I don't know this, but I'm thinking that her father had to run.
Right.
Because she didn't really know him.
Mhm.
Because as I said, it was my mama and one brother.
Right.
And he was 2 years old
Uh-huh.
when the mama died.
And the mama died.
So Daddy had to have left shortly after he was born or something, okay?
Mhm.
And nobody else, and another thing that we did, and you probably did this too, when grown people were there talking, the kids, you need to go. You could not
you
listen.
could not listen. You had to go outside.
You had to get
couldn't
outside
stay
and play.
in there where they were talking at.
This is grown folk talk.
That's right. You would have to leave the room. You
Sometimes we would sneak around and eavesdrop. Did you? Or were you scared?
I was scared. And I was just going out.
We
Because
would
I
go out
know
too, but we would
you'd
sometimes
be in
listen.
trouble.
But we never did hear the story of why my grandfather was not around.
Yeah. They didn't want you to know.
And I feel like maybe he had to flee,
Yeah.
to save his life. Because
Yeah.
you would get it. They would get you. They
Yeah,
would beat
they
you. They would
wouldn't
kill you.
tell
They
you.
would hang you. They would do all that kind of stuff. They would. They did that.
yeah.
Now, my father's father, I kind of knew him a little bit. I remembered him just a tiny bit, but I don't remember my father's mother because she passed away.
Well, my grandmother lived with us. My mother's mother, she lived with us. So I knew her, real good.
Okay.
My grandmama.
Well, see,
Mamie.
What would you call her?
Her name was Mamie.
Mamie.
Uh-huh.
Is she
But we
here on the
call
wall
her
somewhere?
Mama. She is.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
We would call her Mama.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My great-grandmother lived with us at one point because she and my great-grandfather, when they got so old, they couldn't stay where they were because where they lived, the house belonged to a white family. Okay, but they lived there for years. I don't know how many years. I don't even know if my mother was born there or not, but they lived there. But when they got to the point where they were not able to farm and grow stuff, they had to leave. So that's when the Hutchins, my cousin, not your side of the Hutchins.
Oh, okay.
Are you related to those Hutchins in the
Oh,
Cuba?
no.
Okay.
Not to the ones in the Cuba.
That's the ones. Okay, they moved in. Cousin Amos moved into that house. But anyway, then my great-grandparents lived with us.
Right,
Okay.
but I went to school with them.
Yeah.
Anthony, Sandra Hutchins.
Now that's children. Yeah, Anthony, Sandra. They were. Did you know Viola and Catherine?
I know Viola.
Okay, well she had an older sister, Catherine.
And I know Ruth,
Yeah, that's a younger one.
Perline, and
Pearline,
Alberta.
they're young.
I know them.
Yeah, well that's Hutchins family that moved into the house with my
Okay.
great-grandparents.
Okay.
Their daddy was Mr. Cousin Amos.
Okay.
Amos Hutchins, okay? So,
But we were a different set.
yeah, you guess.
I guess.
But do you know how your okay, did your father or your grandfather, do you know of any of your relatives that were a slave? Like, have you heard any of your family mention this particular relative being a slave?
I don't know if any of them were slaves, but I guess they were.
There had to be
They
somebody.
had to
What
be.
I was getting at, the reason I'm saying that is because I'm thinking that your master was a Hutchins.
Okay.
You probably, your ancestors way back lived on the Hutchins plantation.
Right.
Probably.
Probably.
Because that's what the Hutchins in Nicola did.
Okay.
If you trace way back, because see, I'm related to them. Go way back. There was a slave.
Okay.
And they took on the name of Hutchins.
Hutchins.
And then my great-grandfather's mother was a slave. Her name was Matilda.
Okay.
She was a slave of the Hoods in Nicola.
The Hoods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And so
I
that
went to
was
school with them.
Yeah, those are my relatives too, like Jimmy Hood and
Jimmy
all of
and
them.
Tommy.
Okay, well, my great-grandfather's mother, as I said, was Matilda,
Uh-huh.
and Matilda was a slave,
Okay.
and she took on the name of Hood.
Okay.
We don't know who. Okay, Matilda had 6 children.
Really?
3 girls and 3 boys. She had Aunt Viola Hutchins, you know her, Irvin's mama, and then she had my great-grandfather, and then she had Jimmy Hood's great-grandfather,
Okay.
and then she had 3 other people. But though they took on the name of Hood. See, that's
Okay.
what happened way back when you were slaves. We don't know what your real name was, you know, because a lot of them were sold to this particular family.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
know
were
I've seen it
sold.
on TV, but I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it happened in our family, but.
It did. It did. Believe me, it did. It did. So they would take on the name of their master.
Okay.
In most cases, that's how we got our names.
Okay.
Our last name, we took on that name because, as I said, we were sold. No telling where. We could have been in South Carolina, and we were sold, and we were shipped to Decatur. You know, split up. Maybe we had a family there. We don't know what happened to the rest of them because we were separated. You know, that's sad.
That is.
It's very sad.
Really
A lot of that
sad.
happened. A lot of that happened.
Oh, yes.
Okay, now getting back to you, okay?
Okay.
And your time, okay, now Hooper Renwick, we've talked about that you had Miss May. Now, tell me about something that you did at Hooper Renwick. Tell me some experiences you had at Hooper Renwick and how you got along with your people there at Hooper Renwick, like your classmates or your friends or whatever. Tell me something about some of your experiences.
Well, I got along with my classmates really good. I used to, remember I used to sing in the chorus. I loved to sing in the chorus. And I used to be in the plays that we had.
Okay, drama.
You know, drama. I used to love that. And we used to do interpretive readings. And we would compete with other schools for that.
Okay.
And one interpretive reading that I did was a Little Brown Baby, that by Paul Laurence Dunbar, and I did that. I recited that, and we did creation, and we had.
Y'all did the creation?
We did the creation.
That's from the Bible.
Yes, we did that one time. But I remember the Little Brown Baby a little more. Little pieces of that. I remember reciting that.
Okay.
And then you had compete with other schools.
Did y'all win a lot of prizes?
Sometimes we would win, and sometimes we would come in like maybe second.
But you always placed
Yeah,
most
we
of the
would
time.
place most of the
Okay.
time, and then we would sing chorus. We would compete with other schools too. One song we did was Toreador. I remember that. We had black capes, and they had yellow in them. And we had them thrown over us, and we would sing that. But we kind of like placed, I think, second in that.
You have any pictures of any of that?
Not now. I don't.
Did
I
you
don't.
throw them away?
I guess I threw them away.
That's terrible.
I know it. But
Wow.
I did. I used to do interpretive readings a lot at school. But
You were
that-
smart too.
Huh?
You were, weren't you? Yeah, I know. You were a smart student. You were a good student.
Well, I tried to be.
You were good. You were a good student as far as academics plus a good person.
Well, thank you.
But and you got picked on too.
Yeah, I used to get picked
Because
on a lot.
you were good.
Yeah, and then the teacher would, they would take names. You would have to take names. When the teacher would go out, okay, so I would say to myself, I hope she don't ask me to take names, and she would. And we had a bully in the class, AC.
AC?
AC Mitchell, that was his name.
Okay.
And I said, oh, Lord, I hope she don't ask me to take names, and she did. And so she said, Harold, I want you to take names. I said, oh, Lord. And then time she closed the door, AC jumped up and got started. Oh, he carried on and cut up in the class. And I said, oh, Lord, I've got to take his name. And I took his name, and when he came up to me, he said, I'm going to get you after class. I'm going to get you. And I said, if you can catch me.
Did you run?
I ran.
Did you run?
I did. I ran.
Don't
And got
blame
on
you.
the bus.
And you were safe on the
I
bus?
was safe, but then when I got on the bus, I got bad, and I said, I wish AC would come on this bus. I'd tear him up. But if he'd have stepped on that
You'd have
bus, I
died
would have
dead.
died. Because I was scared of him.
Yeah, of course. I can understand that.
I was scared of him.
Because there was some bullies, in all schools. And there were those who would scare some of us to death.
Yes.
You know.
But she would ask me to take names, and
Because you were a good student, see?
but I would try to.
And
I
you
tried
didn't ever
to.
try to talk her out of getting you to do
No,
it. You
I
just did it
didn't.
because she asked you to do
I
it.
just did it because she asked me to do it. You know.
Even though you were scared to death.
I was scared because I knew what was going to happen, you know. Because time she closed the door, he did. He got up and just started cutting up.
Oh,
And
my
I think
goodness.
other people probably were scared of him too.
Of course they were.
Because he was a bully.
Was he
you know.
big?
AC was kind of stout, you know, and kind of brown complexion.
Well, what kind of grades did he
Stout.
get?
I don't
F
think
minus is-
AC I don't think he got good grades.
He didn't.
But
He
he
didn't.
was cut up.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
kids like that don't most of the time.
Mhm.
They don't.
But
They
he
fill
was
their
cut
life
up.
with that bullying stuff, and they don't do anything about the learning process,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
They just don't. That's
But
just the
I
way it
did.
is. Mm-hmm.
I could run then.
You ran a lot, didn't you?
I could run. And I told him, I said, if you can catch me.
Well, let me ask you this now. At that time when we was going to school, we'd have a period where we called it recess.
Uh-huh.
And you know, that was a time when it wouldn't be lunch. It would be recess.
It'll be recess.
Uh-huh. And that meant that we would get to go outside and play.
Oh, yeah. We used to do that, too. We
Okay.
called it recess.
Uh-huh.
And we had the merry-go-round. But that was one thing that we really enjoyed. And you would get on that merry-go-round and then have fun. And they would push it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on that merry-go-round one day, and my hands was back like that on it. And I was sitting on the seat this way, but my hands was on the bars like this.
That was wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, I should have
Was that the
turned
wrong
around.
way? Okay.
But by the time I got ready to turn around,
Too late.
They they got that merry-go-round, and they was pushing it, just going faster and faster, and I was
And because it
hollering.
was you, they were doing
And
it
I
more.
said, stop. And I was hollering, stop it, stop. And they wouldn't stop. And my legs was out like that, and my hands was back like that, and my legs went out like that. And I turned it loose.
Oh, look, did they throw you in the woods?
Ooh, I went way out there on the dirt and stuff, and tore my pants up and my clothes. But they wouldn't stop.
You know what? You were a lucky person not to get really hurt.
I didn't get hurt, but I mean, it kind of hurt me a little bit, my leg, you know, and all. But
Oh, that was
it just
so
tore my
dangerous.
clothes up.
Okay, well then, when that was at recess, all that happened
That
at
was
recess.
recess.
Well, when you went back into the classroom, what did the teacher say or do or think?
She just said they shouldn't have done that to you, you know, like that, you know, but, you know,
So that person did not get punished.
they didn't get punished because it was probably 2 or 3 of them doing it, you know, because they would get inside of it and push it, you know, and I mean, they would carry it around, you know, but she didn't really do anything to him.
Because they didn't kill you, so they said
They
that's
didn't
all
kill
right.
me, and I was
That's-
okay.
That was so dangerous.
Yes,
though.
it was,
So
but I was okay. I just tore my clothes up.
When your
you know,
mama, did she
mostly.
like it when you got home
She
ragged?
didn't. She said, boy, what happened to you?
Did you tell her?
I told her.
What did she say?
She said, well, this as long as you wasn't hurt.
Well,
you
that
know.
was good.
You
'Cause
know, as long as you wasn't hurt, it's okay.
that
you
had
know.
been my mama, she would have beat me to death.
would've
my
beat
daddy
you.
wouldn't. My daddy was a gentle person, but my mama, she'd get you.
Yeah, well, mother would get you too, you know. She let you know now. She would. She let you know, but she didn't.
She,
whoop you.
yeah, but she was gentle too. Cause somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
But she meant
But
business.
she didn't play.
She meant
you know.
business
She
though.
meant business.
Mhm.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. She raised a good son.
Well, I tried.
She did. She raised a good son. She did.
Mhm.
Well, now tell me, how did you and your sister?
Thank you.
How did y'all get along? Did your sister and your brother? You had a brother, right?
I have
I mean, not the half ones. The whole ones.
just
at
the
home.
2 sisters.
The 2 sisters. Okay, how did y'all get along at home?
We got along real good, me and my sisters. And then my sister, well, not my oldest sister, but my sister she was next to me. I was the baby. And she was like, be protective, you know, like. of
Well, you
me.
know, back then, that's the way the siblings did. They would protect the younger one,
Yeah.
in most cases. And you was expected to do that. Your parents expected you to take care of this one. And that's what you did.
Right.
That's what you did.
Because my oldest sister was, you know, she was much older.
Yeah.
You know, so me and my sister would ride the bus together, my other sister. And she would be more protective of me, you know.
That's what the families did. They taught the children to protect little sister or little brother. They really did.
But we got along real good. Me
That's
and my
good.
sisters got along just real good.
That's one. And how, what's the age gap between you and the sister that went to school with you?
My sister, she's like 69. And my older sister's 70. She's in the 70s.
Okay.
And then I'm 65. So
Oh, so like 4 years
yeah,
between
4
you
or 5
and
years.
yeah.
She'll be 70, I think, her birthday.
Okay.
Carolyn. And then Betty was older than us.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, that's good because sometimes, see, that was 12 of us. 9 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
And there were so many boys. Till then they finally got down and they had another girl. See, me and my sister are the number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
She's number 1, I'm number 2. But then boys. And then finally there come another girl. And those boys did not like her.
Oh, wow.
They were mean.
They were mean to her.
Yes, they were mean to her.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Zola.
You know her. They were mean to her.
Mean to her.
Yes, very mean to her.
Wow.
They sure was. But as I said, since there was so many of us, and we didn't have no money, you know, we were very poor. We grew everything we ate and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when I know my parents wanted to get away from us, you know. So like when my great-grandparents was living with us, on Sundays, my mom and my daddy, they would get in a little car and they'd go off, stay gone all day, leave us there with grandma.
Okay.
We did some of everything. We made our own play, our own entertainment. But some of the stuff we did, we wasn't supposed to do. Okay.
Right.
But we did it.
Well, we used to play church a lot.
We did. We played church a lot. We did a lot of that.
I was a usher.
Oh my goodness! We have my old sonny Clyde. You know Clyde, my brother.
I do.
He would be the preacher.
He used to cut my hair.
He would be the preacher. Oh Lord, we just did so much.
We did too.
We did so much.
But we loved church.
We did.
We used to do that a lot.
Yeah, and we had to go to church too.
We had to go to church
Yes,
too. We went to
that
church.
was a given. You go to church Sunday.
Right.
Yes, you go to
But
church.
we never did have a car till later on.
We
Mother
didn't either. We didn't either.
And we would go with my aunt. That was Jerry's mom.
Okay.
And
Okay.
his dad.
They had a car,
Yeah, they had a car.
and y'all didn't.
We did.
Okay.
And then a lot of times we would go to church with them. You know. and
Of course,
then
you went to the same church, right?
We did.
All Salem. All of y'all came to Salem.
We went one way every Sunday that we go, that we would go to church.
Yeah.
It was just that one particular route we would go.
Okay. Okay. So, when did you always live with your mom? Were you always living with her?
I was.
Okay.
I always lived with mom.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
And then my grandmother, that was her mother, we would have her.
Okay.
And they said,
They spoiled you too, right?
they did, and they would say it, our house would be, because we had this big heater, and they said, y'all's house would be so hot. And they said my grandmother, she didn't like the heat and said she'd be leaning.
She'd be
She'd be leaning.
She was asleep.
Because she'd be so hot. And then
Oh,
sometimes
but
she
she-
would say, boy, help me back there to the chair back there because it's hot. But we had it one, and I loved it.
You loved the heat?
I did. And the heater would get red hot sometimes.
I remember seeing
And
some of that too.
And I loved it.
Did you really?
I did. I did.
And that was so dangerous, though, for us to be having a heater like that hot in the frame home we were living
but
in.
it
We were
felt
just lucky that
so
we didn't
good.
burn ourselves down.
I know, but it felt good. It did.
It did, didn't
it?
it?
did. I loved
Because
it.
the weather then was a lot colder to me. It was, in the wintertime, it would be wintertime. We don't really have winters now like we did way back when I was growing up. We just don't. We don't have. They don't be.
cut wood and coal.
Yep.
We would have coal. We had to go out there and get that. You know, and bring it in for the fireplace.
Yes.
I mean, for the heater.
That's right. That's right.
We did.
And you had a certain time to have all that work done before night.
Yeah, we had to get that stuff in.
Before,
the wood and the coal.
You didn't.
You had to get it in.
You didn't do
for
stuff.
a certain time.
You
That's
didn't
right.
do stuff after sundown. I mean, there was things you just did not do.
That's right.
Some of it you couldn't do because you couldn't see. You know, because of no electricity. You had
Right.
that lamp, that oil lamp. But some of that stuff you could have done, but it was scheduled to be done at this particular time, and that's when you
That's
did it.
when
You
you
did.
did
You just did it, and you were not told to do it every day. You knew what you had to do.
You knew what you
so
had to do.
You did it.
Right, and we used to have to sweep the yards.
You
too.
did too? Because wasn't no grass out there. Was no lawn. No such
Just
thing as a lawn.
Dirt. You
Dirt.
Know, and brush brooms.
We
would-
made those
Uh-huh. And
from
then we'd
bushes.
Sweep
in
the yard.
sweep
And they
the
would
yard.
look so good. They would. They would look
That's
real
right.
nice.
Yep. We all did the same thing, whether we lived close together or
All
whether we
did.
lived across.
We had to clean those
country.
yards.
We had to do that. That's
Sure
something
did.
we had to do.
We did too.
Sure did. Well, tell me, okay, in church now, you've been a member of this church all your life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I have.
what are some of your duties here at Salem?
What is
Now,
that?
what do you do at Salem? What are some things you do at Salem?
I sing in the choir and a deacon. I'm a deacon here and sing in the choir. And then I'm the clerk. When someone joins, I'll take their names and then call their names to Pastor
How long you been
Haynes.
doing that?
I've been doing that quite a while now. I did it, Gregory's dad, he did it for years and years, and then he gave it over to me.
Really?
And then I started doing it, and I've been doing it ever since.
So there's not been another clerk between you and Mr. Bailey?
No, I've done that.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And I get up and tell who joined. Since Pastor Haynes been here, I've continued to do it.
And you did it before he came, right?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't do it before he came. It was like, I think when Pastor Haynes got here, I think his dad, Gregory's dad, he wanted to stop doing it, and so he gave
He
it,
passed it on to
passed
you,
it on
and
to
you've
me,
had it ever since.
and then I started doing it.
That is wonderful.
Hmm.
That is wonderful.
And he was so nice to me. I mean, you know, he
Well,
just
everybody's
encouraged
nice to
me.
you.
Encouraged me to do it. You can do it, because I didn't know if I could, you know, do a good job of it. But he encouraged me,
So that made you really do it better.
and I tried to do it,
Yeah.
you know. And then Deacon Clark to encourage me as far as, you know, doing that. And I tried to do it.
But you did, and still doing it.
Well, I'm still doing
Yeah,
it, you know.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That is just wonderful.
It is.
Okay, well, let me ask you one other question, and think about this one. Do you remember anything happening to you as far as race goes? You know, any incident took place between you and some white people during your life? Can you remember anything that was really, really bad? You know, that was really, really bad for you?
Well, I had 2 instances. Well, when I went to South Gwinnett.
Okay, South Gwinnett, okay.
I went to South Gwinnett for 2 years.
Yeah.
68 and 69. I didn't have a whole lot of bad instances over at the school, but 1 or 2, you know, it's going to always be some instances. But I had, when I first got over there, so the teacher was assigning seats in the class, and so she was assigning seats. So she told this one guy, said, you sit behind him, talking about me. And he said, I'm not going to sit behind him. I'm not, you know. So she said, what did you say? And he said it again. So she told him, she said, you come and go with me. Then they still paddled you. The principal would
teachers?
paddle you. The
Okay.
principal. He had a board and he would paddle you. So she called him out and he got a paddling. And when he came back, he sat behind me, you know, and I never had any more.
Well, did he
Okay.
become your friend?
Not really, but I remember seeing him now, and he has a tire place where you could get tires, and he works on cars. And I've
Mechanic.
taken a mechanic, and I've taken my car up there to him to have some tires put on it, and we got along real good, you know.
You didn't ever mention
I
that
never
incident at school?
mentioned that to him, you know.
You need to.
And I didn't. I never did mention it to him.
So do you remember when we was in Gwinnett High School and you didn't want to sit behind me? Because he's a different person now, you know.
Yes,
And
he's a different person.
if you feel like you could say that, you know, but if you don't feel like you can, don't say it, because you might have to leave town like my grandfather did.
Then I had another instance too. Every day when we would go down the hall to go to the class, this particular area, you know, when you go down the hall, I said, oh Lord, here I go.
It was an area you didn't like to go?
I didn't like to go down that way because I knew this guy and some more were going to be hollering and
Picking at you.
picking at me.
Oh,
you know.
really?
So they would do that every day. And they did it every day. So 30, 40 years later, this same guy, he came up to me. We was eating somewhere, and so he came up to me and he said to me, he said, "Can you forgive me for the way I treated you in school?"
Really?
He said, "Can you forgive me?" And I said, "Oh, sure." And so me and him hugged.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
It was him and his wife was sitting together, but he said, "I've been waiting to ask you, you know, this. And I would see you different places." So when he got me to himself, this is what he
That is
said to me.
wonderful.
And so me and him hugged. And I said, "Oh, sure," you know, and then we hugged. But
That is so wonderful.
yes, but he would cut up over
He
there.
was, yeah.
And then sometimes he would just jump out in the hall.
And
just,
scare you to death.
Oh.
Did you ever faint?
I did. I would say some things back to him. Like,
Would you?
I would, like I was, you know, trying to be bad, but
I would have
I
gone.
was kind of scared.
I would
you
have
know.
been too. Because
But
it would be more than one person.
It was more than one because it was him and his friends, you know. But they would do it every day. And then sometimes they would say something about my hair too, you know. But later on, like I said, 30, 40 years later, he said that to me.
That was precious, wasn't it?
That was. And I said,
Absolutely.
"What?"
That is something.
I was amazed.
I know it. That's
know.
good.
But he said, "Can
God
you
touched his
forgive me?"
heart.
Oh, I touched his heart.
Yes. Yes, that's what we
And
need.
I remembered
We
him
need
when
a lot
I
of
saw
that.
him, you know. I said, "That's that guy." You know.
That's that bully that scared me to death when I was growing up.
And then he said, "Can you forgive me?" And I said, "Oh, sure."
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It really was.
Life has been so interesting for
Yes.
us. You know, I
Yes.
know everybody has experienced something in their life.
Oh,
but
yeah.
For us as black people, we experienced some very, very difficult incidences, times, and
Oh, yeah.
everything. It was just, and people just don't know how awful it was for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some people cannot believe it when we tell them some of the things that happened to us.
Yeah.
It seems unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I would be the same way if someone was telling me some of this stuff if I didn't know better.
I know it.
I said, that couldn't have happened.
That couldn't have happened.
It's just that bad. It was just that bad.
Right.
It was just that bad for us.
But on the bus, riding the bus, I didn't have no trouble.
No trouble on the school
on the
bus.
school bus.
Well, that's good.
Just when I would
now,
get
when
to
you
school.
when you went to South Gwinnett, did you ride the bus there too?
I did.
Now let me. Okay, so if you was at South, schools were integrated then.
Yes, it was. We
So,
integrated.
The buses were integrated. When
Yes.
it wasn't just one
It was
group.
integrated.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have you
I
had
didn't
no
have no
trouble on the
trouble.
bus.
On the
Because
bus.
oftentimes a lot of them would have trouble on the bus.
Yeah, I didn't have any trouble on the bus. It's just in the school.
In the school.
That's when I would have the trouble. But like I said, I didn't have that many instances. It was just those particular
Were you
two.
by yourself most of the time though when you were going up and down the
I
hall?
would. I'd be having my books in my hand,
That
and I
book-
would go down the hall. I said, to myself, I said, "Oh, here I go."
But I could. I think I probably would have had to quit school. I couldn't have taken it. I couldn't have. I couldn't have handled that. I don't think I could have. I really don't.
But
I
he
don't
would
think-
do it. He would. And I would see him out places, you know.
After, when you was in school.
Like.
And
when
what would he? How would he act when he would see you?
He didn't really see me. I don't
But you
guess.
see
I
him.
would see him.
And you got away so
And
he
I
didn't
didn't try
see you.
to,
Did you
you
run
know,
so he didn't
confront-
see you?
I didn't try to confront him or
You got on.
anything like
I
that.
got to get on over here.
I didn't confront him.
Uh-uh.
I didn't, but I would see him, you know. But then later on, like I said, 30, 40 years later,
He came to you.
that's what he said to me.
That is so wonderful.
He did.
That is just great.
And I was amazed.
I know it. That's good.
It is. I mean, him hug. You know, we would hug.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Yes. Do you know what he's doing now?
I don't. But I just listening to him and his wife, I think he probably was like maybe a preacher or something in the church because something changed his life, you know.
Okay.
The way
That's
he
one. That's
acted.
where it ought to be. People need to change from being bad to good to good. You know, I mean, all bad stuff needs to turn to good from
Yes.
in people. You know, in people. Yeah, because we all have some of it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Some a lot worse than others.
That's right.
Well, Mr. Harold, It has just been a pleasure.
It's
talking
been a
to
joy.
you.
It
It's been a
has.
joy.
It
It's been a
has.
joy. It's been, and we got a whole lot more to talk about someday.
I know it.
We do. We got a whole lot more to talk
More
about.
to talk about. That's right.
We surely do.
And it
Well,
was
thank
good.
you so
were
much.
so welcome.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it.
Well, me too.